Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Yoda's Hut. I'm Bill. I go by Yoda Man on the boards, and I'm joined again by Ben.
Yep, that's me, Pants YG.
All right, in this game, I'm playing Navy, and I have a Trooper deck, and Jerry on the left has a Jedi deck, which I think was a little more standard. I guess we'll see. So I've actually started with Family Connections, Tarkin Doctrine, and Dark Trooper Project.
How standard would you call Flight of the Crow? I know it's it's coming back, but it's still kind of a rare sighting. I like it.
Yeah, and I think that I'm trying to remember what his other objectives. He got May the Force be with you, and
Yeah, what is that? I can't recognize it.
it might be, I'm not sure what it is. I honestly can't remember. So I played a control room
Oh,
to start with, then at one of the Stormtrooper assault teams for two, and then a Nogri bodyguard for two.
mhm. Hello, Thrawn. So you're playing a more controlling trooper deck, I would assume. Which
Yeah, I think I had one of Thrawn in here, mainly to have Thrawn's good, and the Nogris are good to help protect some of the Navy officers like Tag or Renz.
yeah,
So looks like I'm just going to take balance. I had to use both resources on control room, so I only have four next turn. But yeah, I'm trying to think what his other objectives is. It might have been knowledge and defense or something like that. I
sounds
remember him using something a little wacky in this deck, so maybe I shouldn't have called it standard. He does have some of the standard power stuff like Yoda and Crow, and pretty sure there's Luke in here somewhere.
yeah. We'll have to wait to see what cards he plays because I can't figure that out
Yeah.
for the life of me.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember either. So, and just the way it's shown up before, I'm not sure. So he's got a Valley of the Jedi, the good Jedi Force resource from Crow. So I'm guessing that's one of the reasons he has it in the deck for that aspect. And then we got to worry about what that looks like. Oh, that is the
That's
Yoda's protection card. that that I remember this game now. That when you attack an objective that it's enhanced with, it's free. It
uh,
puts a shield on the objective.
what a strange
So I
invention.
said I think that might be the knowledge and defense pot, and maybe that's what the objective actually is too.
I think you're right. Oh yeah, I can kind of see it because doesn't it have like people? There's like ladies on it lifting up big rocks or something.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think that's the while it's undamaged, it does something. I can't remember what that is off the top of my head. It has some kind of special text.
I think it puts units that are destroyed back into your hand.
That's what it is. That's exactly right. And then he just played Kyle Katarn and focused my Nogri bodyguard there.
Yeah,
um,
that's not the end of the world though. Usually you want Kyle to come down and hit someone like Thrawn or Tarkin or someone with more pips, so you can just
yeah,
kind of steal the force away.
it's certainly going to allow him to take force back. Not that he would have been able to if May the Force be with you anyway. So looked like he was going to attract Tarkin Doctrine. I guess I must have redirected it. Said he made him pay two, which he didn't have. So I'm going to let him take a free swing at Dark Trooper Project.
Yeah, you're not feeling like standing in front of the bus with the.
No, not right now. Although if I want edge, I could take out Kyle.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say, they can do it, but Kyle's a pretty low threat unit. Doesn't have a lot of blast damage, so
right, just more guns. So he's going to take balance back after he committed Kyle with May the Force be with you and
yeah,
take one off of Valley.
that seems like the sort of Jedi start that we're used to. Although usually not with knowledge and defense.
Yeah. And so I get to put a shield on the Stormtrooper thanks to Family Connections. Um,
Yeah, that's so annoying.
so Kyle's a little less scary without Heroes and Legends out. And I'm not really sure Kyle's the kind of the unit you want to commit if you can avoid it, but I guess he didn't have much choice there.
Yeah, usually you don't. Usually you want to have Kyle available to defend because he can kill anyone
Right.
on defense.
So I think I have the mission in my hand. I can kind of see from the way I'm holding the card. And I am going to play the mission from the
You know,
trailer set.
playing a mission in the first couple turns as your first play
Right.
is never feels super great.
Right. So
Especially that one. I feel like that's the kind of mission you want to play in the mid game when you've got the damage to just go in and blow it up right away.
right. I guess I must have thought based on my resources available that was the best thing to play at this point. And if I can blow it up, it'll help me get things. So there I've got tag. So he's got some blast. That's good. And now while he's out, any troopers that cost two or less, if they die, they'll go back to my hand.
Yeah, the incredible, rejuvenating Stormtrooper Assault Team.
Right. And as I said, one of the reasons I have Thrawn in this deck for the Nogres is to protect people like Tag. So now I could throw Tag out. Looks like I'm going to try to attack with the Stormtrooper. That seems like an odd play, unless I'm sure I can win Edge. No,
But
okay, I'm not going to attack with the Stormtrooper. I must have reconsidered that.
you get him back in your hand though,
Yeah,
and if you do an edge,
I can.
you kill Kyle.
Yeah. The one thing about a lot of these Trooper decks is they're not very good on Edge battles. Uh,
That's very true.
I do have Tarkin Doctrine in there, so I have a twist. I think I've only got one Tarkin in the deck, if I remember, but at least having one twist is better than none.
That's kind of an argument for having two Tarkins is just having another 3-pip card
Yeah.
for your edge battles.
All right. So I guess I'm thinking. I think I asked about that Yoda's protection card while we were talking here, while I'm thinking about my attack.
Something along the lines of what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, I think where did that card come from? So I'm gonna attack with Tag here. Maybe try to sneak in some free damage.
Yeah,
And
I
if
guess
he happens to defend, unless he's got heat of battles or deflections, and actually deflections wouldn't even help as much. He's not going to be able to kill Tag because of the bodyguard.
Yeah, and then you can send the Stormtrooper to mop him up. So that
Yes.
works out well.
Yeah, so I think I suckered him into it, to be honest. I actually played Secret Objective. He had Confronting the Terror.
I
So,
know which point this time.
so I'm reading Secret Objective. I think what we were trying to decide there was if I redirected to the knowledge and defense, did it still get the shield? And we decided it didn't because I think it said when an engagement is declared against that objective.
Yeah, I think it does get around that because
Right,
you're not
so I didn't actually declare it.
sneaky, sneaky.
And then I'm reminding him that Kyle's not going to kill Tag because I think he thought Kyle was going to kill Tag.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna put one damage on tag or two, depending on how you
Uh,
just
I'll
distribute it.
probably split it up 2 and 1 just to give myself the chance to keep force with the Nogri.
Yeah, unless he's got Luke. Jedi don't usually have a lot of ways to deal direct damage, so.
Right. So I do 2 damage to the objective since I got around the shield and turned it off so he can't put units back into hand. Um,
And then Stormtrooper goes and murders
yeah,
stuff.
Stormtrooper's going to go in, and I think at this point I was trying to decide, did I really want to kill Kyle? Because another one might just come down. I might have chosen not to use my targeted strike.
Oh, see, I would have gotten all bloodthirsty there and just killed him. But ooh, hello, Scout Troopers. I love
Yep, I'm dropping 2 scout troopers in there to get some extra damage on the flight of the crow. I guess I'm trying to decide, do I want to kill Kyle or not?
it. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I did decide to kill him. And then those troopers will do a couple of damage. So now I really like them. If you can set that up right, you can do some serious damage to either units and or objectives with those scout troopers by dropping them in for free.
I've won so many games by using those guys to get the final points of damage out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of them, and I like the art. I think they're really cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get to take force back thanks to the bodyguard being committed. So that's probably why, as I said, I chose not to kill the bodyguard with that damage, just so I could take force back there with him. Now Jerry is gonna have 6 resources. I got the knowledge and defense bonus turned off, but I still got to worry about the shield. And I've got the mission out, which I don't have any damage on yet, but I gotta think I'm gonna eventually attack it with all those scout troopers.
So here's the thing: is tag an interrupt or a reaction?
I think it's an interrupt. I guess before they leave play, you bring them back to hand.
I was thinking he could play like a 3-cost dude, so he could play a Yoda and then a My Ally is the Force after he wins this Force struggle and blow up your board.
Yeah,
but you would get most of it back in your hand.
I think so. I think that's the way that would work. Yeah, so I'm definitely at this point thinking that my ally and the force would be a bad thing for my board, but tag would at least save a few of the things.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of want those scout troopers in your hand. I mean, you don't care if they get blown up because as soon as another trooper comes down, you can get them back for free. So.
Yeah. And now, if I had some Imperial Disciplines, which I think I might actually have one in my hand at this point, I just wasn't able to play it with what I put out on my turn as it was. I wanted to put tag down in the mission. Um, I think that would certainly kind of counteract my allies the force a little bit because you could do some damage
Yeah.
back when those things bounce. So, all right. So I got a Ron's guidance here, trying to see if he can get something good from his top 5 cards.
Yeah, it must have looked like he looked at his hand for a long time before playing Ron's guidance, so he must be fishing for something.
Right. Now, Kyle's set seems like it kind of fell out of favor a little bit more recently, but it's, I guess, because Kyle doesn't have as much blast damage, but there's so many force icons in that Heroes and Legends, and if you can bounce units, it's just great. I think Tarkin's probably had some effect
Ooh.
on that. Moldy Crow,
Oh.
okay?
Good to see you here, shutting off all shielding.
Yeah,
Although that doesn't work on Family Connections, does
it
it?
does
'Cause it
not
just
work
puts.
on Family Connections because Family Connections isn't really the shielding keyword, it just adds shield. So I gotta
Yeah.
think he's gonna play Crow if he bothers to get it, but and try to swing for the fences here. Maybe take out an objective.
I mean, how many cards do you have in your hand?
I think
Because
I
he's
just have probably 2. I played tag. I played both scout troopers, and I played the I might only have 1 actually, and I played the mission.
suppose if there's any time to swing for the fences with the crow, it's now, and you can still take the force back near the force.
Yep.
It's just a bummer to have to spend what are they called to do it?
Oh,
Uh,
he's got
Card.
another Yoda's protection there. I
What
think
is
we were
this?
trying to decide. We were talking about can you play it on a mission, and since missions are considered objectives while they're in play, that we
Yeah,
agreed you could. So he's going to put Yoda's protection on the mission.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So
Got 2 of those. I can't imagine anyone taking 2 of them. That's so nuts.
right. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was
Yeah,
trying to do with this deck, but I guess it helps keep if you're playing against a Navy Star Destroyer deck kind of like that, it must help you get some shields on things, maybe keep some objectives alive where they thought they might be able to take them out.
and I know the units in the set, when you commit them to the force, you remove damage from your objectives,
Yeah,
which,
that's true too. So that could be good against the Navy stuff too if you can get them out there. And they
yeah,
have a tactics too, if I remember right. They have white tactics, I think. So
do have the tactics, which is useful, but I feel like Navy is just so much faster than like removing 1 damage is not going to help as much as just trying to kill Navy before they kill you.
right.
But
So
it's an interesting experiment for sure. I like it.
yeah,
I like seeing some underused pods.
yeah. So he's got the 6 resources there. We know he pulled up Crow. He's probably, I gotta think he must not have something cheap with tactics, or that would be the obvious play. So,
Right. Yeah, one of those daughters would be a pretty good, really good play here.
right,
Bait out that
right. So
Nogri and then
he's
bat for the
play
fences with the.
another Valley of the Jedi, more resources.
Seems to be a theme in his decks. He seems to be pretty good at digging up resources and
Yeah, yeah.
throwing them down.
Jerry definitely likes to have resources. He likes tactics, and he likes to try to be creative with his builds and just try different things that I think most of the people in the sort of standard metas when you talk to what people play, they're a little bit out of the ordinary, but sometimes he gets them to work really well when they gets the things to pull off.
Yeah, it's cool to see too because I find myself falling into that trap a lot too of just kind of what is the standard thing,
Right.
and so it's nice to see a little bit of variety. So what's interesting, he paid for this in such a way that after he wins the force struggle, he will have 3 resources left, so he could play himself a my ally as the force, which I would love.
Yes, he could. And right now, I'm probably panicking that that is really what he has.
Yeah,
So he
and
is.
as we mentioned, you'll get a lot of this stuff back. So
He attacked Family Connection, just threw 1 in, which he didn't even really need to do with Flight of the Crow.
no, yeah,
It's
that's
blocked with
but
the Nogri, so I'm going to stop the unopposed and keep Family Connections alive for a turn.
yeah, 4 damage is still 4 damage though. It's a
Just
lot.
damage. And I'm sure he's going to commit the Crow and take balance back. Yep. And he takes that. Yep.
My ally is the force. Do it.
I know.
Do it.
I think at this point I'm just holding my breath, wondering is it coming? And
Oh, you got now though, before
I
those
guess
dudes get.
not. I'm
Uh,
breathing a sigh of relief even after the fact, watching this again, that he did not have my ally as the Force. So I'm
that
gonna
would have been so huge. You're gonna get so many shields this turn.
right, um, and I'm gonna at least have 6 resources that my control room's back freed up. Now the dial's only at 3. Uh, oh, I just realized I could have taken another token off the Nogri because of Dark Trooper Project, and I forgot. I wonder if we'll catch that later. I see Thrawn.
Yeah, you guys are pretty good about catching errors like that.
Yeah, we try to. There's a uh, tech lab there from from the Dark Trooper Project, that Force resource, and then there's Thrawn for 4.
Yeah, sure, you guys are hurting for resources, and
Uh,
Thrawn is one, a gorgeous card, and two, not one that you see very often these days,
Yep.
sadly.
One of the things are up there's an Imperial discipline. So
Two. My
that's
ally
fun.
now.
So, all right, go ahead, play my ally. Yep, exactly. So now, one of the things I always remember was when the Echoes of the Force Cycle first started, and Dark Trooper Project came out in that very first pack with Freeholders, and I think
Uh,
Tenors was in that pack too, and Jarek, if I remember right. I remember the only Force resource, the one that refreshed after you won the Force struggle, was this one in Dark Trooper Project, and people just complaining about how overpowered it was, and other people said, be calm, everybody's going to get one. So it's kind of nice to see the original one hit the board there with the experimental tech
I,
lab.
uh, I didn't realize that little piece of history. I started the game a little after
Okay.
the Echo cycle started, maybe 2 packs in or something. I didn't realize that that was one of the first ones. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the very first one that came out. And I remember people thinking, this is just stupid because people were coupling it with the Sith control stuff, which
Yeah.
actually was winning a lot of Force struggles. And that was before the Dash Freeholders came out. Then the next set Dash hit, people were playing Dash and Freeholders together and just crazy. So I think I actually let him win Edge since Crow wasn't going to do anything to me. He had to double focus Crow, and then I used Thrawn to double focus the Crow again. So Crow has 4.
Wait, so you attacked with Thrawn, I
I
guess.
attacked with Thrawn, and I didn't use Thrawn's reaction since Crow doesn't have any guns.
But
And
why
so,
did you block with the Crow? That seems strange. Just take the tactics.
yeah, I'm not sure. I guess he was trying to prevent me from blowing up Flight of the Crow. I would have blown it up otherwise.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, so now I could take out Crow, or maybe I'll choose not to take out Crow here. Crow being focused down is probably better than another Crow hitting the board.
Yeah, almost certainly.
So looks like I'm sending Tag in again since I've got a free shot. Probably dealing with that Yoda's protection on the mission. And maybe I'm trying to decide if I want to send those troopers in too for the extra blast.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I'm looking at it again, trying to figure out what to do.
I really don't like being in this position on the light side where you got this giant board that you got to deal with, and all you've got is a Crow, and it's
Yeah,
focused down and
yeah. So
intimidating.
I'm choosing to attack, even though he's going to be able to shield one of the damage. Not sure why 2 ended up on it.
For one and one unopposed.
Oh yeah, the unopposed. That's right. Yeah, 2 plus the unopposed after the shield.
Right.
And then I'm holding something in my hand. I wonder if I have another scout trooper. No, I'm going to commit a scout trooper just to take balance back because I had forgotten about the Nogri. I didn't really need to do that. The Nogri should have been free. I probably should have considered committing Thrawn just in case he had him my ally as the Force, and so I wouldn't lose him.
This is seriously the time when he needs to draw my ally as the Force.
It sure is.
I think if I was him, I would have pitched every single card to that edge battle. Try to get to my ally as the Force, because that's like the one thing that's going to dig you out of this hole.
Right, right. Pro's not coming back this turn at least, but
Right. And all you have to do is beat one on the Force. That's pretty easy for Jedi to do. So
yeah. So we have some, it's a pretty back and forth here. The dial's still only at 3, if I remember correctly. He's got some damage spread around on my objectives. I've got some damage on his plus the mission.
Yeah,
So
this game has kind of a neat tension to it because you could have been really aggressive last turn, but by the same token, he already has enough damage on your objectives where his counter swing would have been pretty hard for you to deal with. So I like how this game is developing. It's really cool.
so we got a Yoda hitting the board now, which certainly could take the force back after attacking, and then
Yeah,
it'd
he
be
just has to
really,
worry
really
about
bad.
all so many guns on your side, all hiding behind shields.
Yeah. Now I
It's a
do
good.
have that stormtrooper, so if I could win an edge battle, I think that's where I just realized I forgot to take the one off. A
Yeah,
little late now. So, but Yoda
that's
certainly can get something. At least I have Tarkin Doctrine to try to protect. Probably, I would think, try to protect family connections, but he has enough resources out. He should be able to do it. So he's going to play a Taru training on Yoda. Wow.
interesting. I usually don't play that card. I just save it for edge.
Yeah, me too. But I guess if you can win edge, you could kill something if I block with a few things here.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He can kill something immediately and then kill another thing with Yoda's guns.
Right. So and he's left himself resources open. Now, I don't think if he wants to pay to attack, he won't have three resources open for my ally. So maybe he doesn't have it in hand the way he played it. Or he might not care if I force him to attack something else.
Yeah, he would not. Although he would have if he would have. Well, I guess he couldn't have done that. I was gonna say if he paid for things with one on each.
Right. But then he wouldn't
Uh,
have been able to redirect either. So
right, he can't pay for the Tarkin tax,
with
which I don't think he really minds at this point.
right. I mean, I have the three troopers out. So to me, if I was in Jerry's position, I'd probably want to try to get family connections off the board just to get rid of the shields.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Because you know that you're gonna block with Tarkin. So I guess you
Right.
try to go through Dark Trooper project and
Yeah. Well, I guess you can. He saved the resources, so he could pay for it if he wants to just attack family connections and pay the two.
yeah, I think I would. Well, again, we're talking around my ally because that's going to be like the major swing card if he has it.
Right.
But I think that would be the bigger priority than paying the Tarkin tax is making sure that your my ally goes off and wipe that board.
Yeah. He must not have it. I gotta think he might have played this turn a little different. Than it looks like he is if he had it.
Yeah, I think I would just commit and play
Right.
it.
I think yeah, exactly. If you have it, why even bother to attack? Why risk possibly having Yoda get taken out if I went edge with the stormtrooper? Just
Right.
commit, take the force, play my ally, clear the board. So yeah,
Although at this point, allies is not the best play even because of all those.
the troopers,
What?
right? That'll get to do, I guess, 6 damage if I
Yeah,
if all the troopers leave play.
that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so he did. Looks like he paid the Tarkin tax. 'Cause I know I just saw myself point to Tarkin doctrine there. So he
Yeah.
is going to attack with Yoda. He's paid the tax, and I'm going to defend with the stormtrooper and one of the scout troopers.
That makes sense. If you don't have my ally, you might as well get rid of the ability to keep cranking out those shields.
Right, and I can bounce those things back to hand too. So I'm trying to think. I'm gonna put something in.
And
And I probably don't have the best edge hand just based on these trooper things. I threw him one. He threw in six. So yeah, I don't think there was any way I was winning that edge battle. So he
in
won
front.
by enough. Atari training's going to actually go off.
Oh, nice.
So he's going to choose to use it on the trooper, and then I bounced it, and I'm going to trigger Imperial Discipline each one of them one time.
All
So
right, Atari training.
yeah,
That's
so Jerry
wow.
will now the way Imperial Discipline works, he gets to pick where he wants to put the damage. So I don't have the control over where it goes. So he can choose to spread it out or choose to blow something up if he wants to, just to make things easier or tougher for me on my terms. So he chose to put both of them on May the Force be with you. And then he's going to get to shoot the other scout trooper, which will kill it because Yoda has three guns. And then I'll get to bounce it back to hand and do two more with Imperial Disciplines.
But he gets rid of family connections, which
He
is a
does
pretty
get
high.
rid of family connection, so he's got an objective. And Yoda's going to be free because may the force be with you. I'm sure he's going to commit him. Guess
Yeah,
he's trying to decide where to put the tactics now. They're really Thrawn doesn't do any good. Really, the one to put it on is probably Tag. He's got two blast and he's not elite.
yeah. Tag is about the only choice, really. I'm kind of surprised that he committed so much to that edge battle. I mean, I guess he would have lost Yoda otherwise, but 6 pips is kind of a lot.
Yeah, he might have been trying to clear his hand or something.
Yeah,
Kyle would have been good to hang on to.
I agree.
Yeah, so he
It's,
did focus Tag.
looks like he's got 2 cards in hand though. That's not terrible. You just kind of want to, he's gonna have the same fight next turn where that Stormtrooper assault team comes back and he has to defend Yoda against them again. So
Right. Yeah, if I can get some kind of tactics there to get the Stormtrooper assault team free, that would be good. But
man, how hosed would he be if he didn't have my May the Force be with you?
right. Yeah, it's a totally different game when you have it. So he does get to commit and free up some things. The dial will just go to 4 now. So another slow game here with Jedi. That's what Jedi can do. As I've said in some previous casts, they can just slow the game down with May the Force be with you and try to drag it out and hope they can, manage to build up a board to get it. So I flip enforce loyalty.
Well, that'll speed things up a little bit.
So he's gonna have to deal with that, and I still got Tarkin Doctrine out. Now this looks like I got the 2 troopers. Looks like I have Mock in my hand to give committed
Okay.
units a blast. So I guess I'm keeping my hand up, drawing stuff. There's Yularen.
I feel like Yularen is inevitable whenever you have exactly 2 damage on your board.
Right. So I gotta think. I'm gonna play Yularen with enough resources that I have here, and I could blow up the mission and then get another trooper or officer from my deck, and I don't see Tarkin in my hand. I'd see Mythal. I almost think there's 2 Mythals if I'm looking there. I might not even play that Stormtrooper. Yep, here comes Yularen.
Yeah, so here's something that the Jedi aren't very good at usually, is blowing up objectives in one shot. So
Right,
this thing doesn't happen.
right. So that's going to blow up the mission since the Yoda's protection won't help when it just gets moved. So Dial will go to 5 now, and I can search my deck for a trooper or officer, and I can search discard also. Well, the obvious play to me here has got to be Tarkin.
Yeah, I think Tarkin's pretty good.
Yeah, there's Tarkin.
I saw you hesitate on Renz. He's not a terrible choice either.
Right. I think I didn't have a lot of troopers down, so I wasn't sure I really wanted Renz out. Tarkin seems like a much better choice here.
Yeah, you've only got the one trooper at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I can use Tarkin to turn off Yoda or something if I need to.
Yeah, one of my favorite decks has core Tarkin, and
Oh,
do exactly what you did there, but then bring out core Tarkin and it nukes all the rest of their objectives and stuff.
yeah, that's a nice play there if they don't have a lot of health left on them. So,
Yeah, but this Tarkin, he comes with a trooper and is just generally a super awesome pod. So
right. So, well, I might play that trooper now. I was forgetting that actually goes right into play. It doesn't go to your hand. So Tarkin went to play for free, and now I'm going to play the Stormtrooper, and I think Yoda's in trouble. um, between the Tarkin Thrawn and Stormtrooper assault team combination.
yeah, he looks pretty DED dead.
Yeah, unless he's got a lightsaber deflection. I don't remember if he had Guardians in there. He obviously can't have Master's Domain with the restriction. Um, Even though we play casually, we always do follow the official rules as far as we don't pair restricted pods together. Um,
Yeah.
so
Honestly, I think it's good that those 2 sets are on the restricted list anyway, because if you played those together for casual play, it would be kind of a dull experience.
yeah,
They're really good together.
now Jerry's love for tactics. He's somebody who actually I think prefers using Master's Domain over May the Force be with you, but
Yeah,
for
it's
the
just a shame that
second,
the objective isn't as good because
right,
May the Force be with you is super solid.
right. Well, and another thing that happens, if you're playing against a Navy deck and you get Tarkin out early, Tarkin can blank Master's Domain and make it generate no resources.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So it can really slow you down. I've had some games like that where Jerry and I played and I did that to him. I felt a little bad, but said, well, this is why May the Force be with you is a little better. So
Yeah, and that's going to be an interaction for the rest of the life of the game because they both come from deluxe expansions. So as long as Tarkin is a thing, Master's Domain is going to be a risky
yeah,
inclusion.
so it looks like I must have went to conflict. I put one on the affiliation card. I'm guessing I'm using Tarkin probably to blank Yoda's guns.
Oh, but he needs those.
So, and now I'm probably just trying to think, what's the best way to do this to kill Yoda?
Yeah.
So I'm
Hmm.
gonna I'm gonna try to sucker in a free shot with Yularen, it looks like. See if I can get him to block with it or not.
Yeah, I think you let that one go. And what do you do about Thrawn? I don't know.
Right. And I don't want to send the stormtrooper until I know I can win edge. So looks like I'm trying to decide what to do. I'm gonna send Yularen and the scout trooper, it looks like. And a couple blasts. Maybe I'm gonna try to blow up May the Force be with you here. So yeah. For a second I thought I was gonna use the stormtrooper the way I had it turned, but I didn't think I would use the trooper there.
Yeah, May the Force is good. You know that if he blocks here, he's just falling into your trap. So
Right.
basically blow up his most valuable objective for free.
Right. And he's definitely in a tough position as it is now because Yoda is probably going to get locked down or blown up, I should say, no matter what he does. So
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about this in the last game, but I think it's coming into play again. That this is one of the reasons that Swarm decks work so well against main decks is that you have more dudes than he can possibly handle with just a
right.
few guys.
All right. So I did blow up. Actually, went after Flay of the Crow, I guess, to get rid of his edge bonus there. And so the dial should have went to 7 then, since I've blown up the mission and one objective. And I'm probably still figuring out how I want to do this thing with Yoda. So I think the obvious thing is just attack with Thrawn.
Yeah, or Tarkin, either of those guys, because Thrawn can always focus him.
Right.
Just anyone with tactics to kind of lure him in.
Yeah, I think I'd probably want to keep Tarkin back, just kind of looking at the board state here, since I don't have any resources open. So Tarkin's my only resource. I probably want to try to keep him free in case I need to use it on Jerry's turn. I could use Tarkin's
Right.
ability then. So I'm probably attacking May the Force be with you with Ron here.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I wonder which is more valuable, Tarkin's ability or Thrawn's on the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, if I had attacked with Tarkin, I probably would have had to use Thrawn anyway, in case I lost Edge.
Right. Yeah, good point. With attacking with Thrawn, you're not losing an opportunity with
Right.
Tarkin.
Right. I can just, if I happen to win Edge with Thrawn, I could hit Yoda for a tactics, put another one on Crow, and then shoot Yoda with the Stormtrooper and the other attack.
Hmm.
Still have Tarkin open. And if I lose Edge, I just focus down Yoda with Thrawn's reaction.
Yeah, I love Thrawn. You know, no matter what happens, he gets to focus his dude.
Yeah. So this is more close to an officer sort of deck here in, with the troopers, and certainly not a Navy Star Destroyer build that seemed to be so popular now.
Yeah, I like it though. The Ren's pod really let this deck uh, be able to put up enough pressure to finish games.
Right. I really think the main drawback with the trooper decks is the two objectives you definitely want to use, Family Connections and Renz's, the Emperor's Legion, don't come with resources. So you have to build
Yeah.
your the rest of your deck accordingly there.
Right, and especially if you take Thrawn, that's another set without resources.
Right. Yeah, and Tarkin only has his resource. Now I did have Dark Trooper Project. I think I had two enforced loyalties in there, so I have the two control rooms. I think I used Mahdi as well.
Yeah,
I have one of them. So there's Mahdi's a resource and the duty officer's a resource. So I'm using Thrawn to actually focus Yoda out before we even do the edge battle. I think I probably did that in case he had protection. Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say why before the edge battle. That's actually really smart. I like that.
So I actually want edge, but thankfully he didn't have the protection. So
Right. Oh, so that edge battle still matters because of Atari training. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I think that mattered there. So now I don't get any damage in, but I'm gonna get to swing for free with the Stormtrooper Assault Team, and I think I'm taking out Yoda and hoping he doesn't have a deflection as his last card.
Oh,
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
scout
dropping a Scout Trooper too.
trooper. To add insult to injury.
Right. Well, that'll give me an extra blast too on the objective there. So
Yeah.
I,
Fortunately, it has a shield though, so it's not going to
I
explode
won't blow it up.
twice.
Yeah, just do one more. I'm
What's the dial at right now? 7?
Yeah, the dial's at 7, so he's one up one objective.
Yeah.
I've got
It's not the crow.
damage
So
up two. He's got Crow, although I could use Tarkin at the start of his refresh phrase to keep Crow from freeing up.
yeah, that would be a risky play though because then you risk whatever else he drops being
Yeah,
able to go in and blow something up, like if he's got a Luke or something.
yeah. So I committed Tarkin, and I took one off the tech lab there. So
Yeah, this is it's kind of an opening. You've only got 2 units to defend, so
yep,
you can try to finagle something here.
right. He's got resources, so he should be able to get around the Tarkin tax. Yeah, I gotta think above all else, even if he can't blow up 2 objectives this turn, he's gotta think about turning off enforced loyalty. So he just flipped up heroes and legends. So I'm glad I got the Yoda off the board, so you can't bounce Yodas or
Yeah, it's too bad you can't bounce the crow, right?
yeah. Yeah, you can't bounce the Crow, fortunately for me, but he's got 8 resources. It's not too bad there. Tarkin can at least turn something off if I need to,
Yeah.
and throw the Nogri in front of that Crow just to stop it unopposed. So he's keeping whatever card he has. Clearly, it's not my ally as the Force, or we would have seen it before. And now I think I'm probably even a little less worried about my ally as the Force with those Imperial disciplines out, and I've got Tarkin and the Nogri and the Scout Trooper all committed, so I keep a few things on the board.
Yeah, with the dial at 7, 6 damage on his objective is going to hit him pretty bad. Although,
Yeah,
how many troopers do you have in play? 3? Yeah, okay, so you can maximize the
yeah, I
damage.
can maximize it. I've got the Stormtrooper and 2 Scout Troopers still.
Yeah, so that would be, I think, too much damage on his objectives for him to handle,
Yeah,
especially when Tag is out. He just brings those scout troopers back to hand.
yeah. Well, blowing up the mission was certainly great. I mean, getting the dial bump, getting to search for any kind of officer or trooper. In that case, the obvious thing for me to go get was Tarkin. Um, so there's so many officers in this stack too. The mission's great. I mean, because you could pull out Thrawn, you could pull Yularen, you could pull Mach, you could pull Mahdi. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
good options there.
I think of the,
There's
oh,
Kyle, and as Kyle's going to focus Tarkin, I probably.
that
Oh,
works out pretty
well.
well.
Yeah,
Now he needs a way to get that Nogri out of the way and he can go blow something up.
yeah. So, yeah,
He's got what he needs is a Twi'lek loyalist.
yep, just something cheap, cheap tactics there would do it.
Yep.
I think I only have one card left at this point, so he's probably going to win Edge no matter what. He could send Crow and Kyle in after something, take the Nogri out with Kyle's
Right.
guns. Um,
And he ensures the damage.
yeah. Although if he does that, I might not let my Nogri die. I might just let it go.
Well, he's not a trooper, so you can't take him back.
Right, I can't take him back and can't protect him. So,
No one protects the protectors
right.
unless you're a royal guard, I guess.
Yeah. Now, if he actually does have my allies in the Force now, he could attack. He could pay the Tarkin tax, one on each, and then win the Force struggle and play my allies the Force. So he must
Yeah.
have it the way he just played that because he saved 2 resources on the other ballot of the Jedi. So he is trying to get rid of enforced loyalty or at least turn it off.
He's going for it, and he can get the force next turn, so that's
Right.
solid. He'll have Kyle on defense.
Right.
The bad news is that you just have so much stuff, and Thrawn.
Right. And
It's gonna
Thrawn
make it for Kyle to do anything.
and Tarkin. I said unless he had had my allies, but I gotta think he would have paid for that differently. So I wonder if he's got something else in his hand and he wants to play with those resources he left open.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think of what that card would be.
Yeah, me too. I
Because
can't,
outside of a board wipe, I don't think there's any single card in
unless
this
there was like an
situation.
unfinished business. If he had Owen in his deck to pull something back that I'm not expecting, I don't.
Who would be unfinished business though? Maybe Yoda?
Yeah,
But even one tactics from Yoda isn't doing him a whole lot.
if he had a Luke and he pitched him or something, but no, he's definitely winning the edge battle there.
But he had to pay 3 cards to do it, so that's
Yeah.
not going to help his cause next turn.
So my Nogri is going bye bye, but he did his job. He kept Tag alive for that one attack. He's gonna blow up the enforced loyalty. That's one way to get rid of it. Just blow the thing right
Yeah,
off. Um,
that's one of the reasons I love the Crow, and I think it should be in more decks. Is that in these sort of desperate situations, you can engineer ways to just destroy an objective,
right.
and
And
that's all you need to do is do that 3 times, and you win.
right, especially if you've got him paired with Owen set with unfinished business, you can even bring it out when they might not be expecting it. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a really great point.
so he's gonna win the force by taking or committing Kyle
Yeah,
and taking one off of the one valley, but he's still got one resource left.
right. So this the slow roll to victory.
Yeah,
Um,
Dial went to 8, so I've only blown up 2, so I really would probably need to blow up 2 objectives this turn to
yeah,
win.
you still need 2, but he's got 2 that are heavily damaged, so I can't see that being a huge challenge. I mean, I think just on the board, you attack with the Stormtrooper Assault team. Um, he's kind of forced to block or lose his last dude, and then you just go blow up the damaged objectives and you win.
Yep, Family Connection just came out, so I got shields again.
Does Family Connections? It's after your refresh,
Yep,
right?
it's after you refresh, so you get to put it on anything that's already out. So there's another Nogri just to help protect Thrawn or Tag or Tarkin or whoever
Yeah,
I choose to, I guess.
I think this one's in the bag.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
think I should be able to do it here unless he's got some other trick that I'm not thinking about. There's a security task force to protect my troopers.
what are those 2 resources that he left open for?
Uh, I'm sure I'm
Some sort.
thinking about that, trying to figure out what does he have that he might be able to pull out.
You know, if those were, if he had a Jedi mind trick, then he could deal with Thrawn and then maybe hold out until next turn.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Thrawn's the big thing though, because just throw a tactics dude out there and
yeah,
yep, kind of classic Star Wars here.
yep. So I'm gonna send Thrawn in. I don't even really care. He can shoot with the Nogri out. I don't really care at this point. I'll
Yeah,
protect it. So I didn't have like this. I had 4. He had
seeds.
3. He had a seed though. Yeah,
What is it? A Fringer captain? Wait, what
yeah.
the? What the what?
I don't know what that. Yeah, what the heck is that doing in there?
Oh man.
Whatever that was, I have no idea why he has that in there. That's from Mirax's set, I think.
Yeah, which is a smuggler set, but he doesn't have a smuggler affiliation card or.
Yeah, that's. I'm not sure why he had that in there. I mean, I guess they're
Well,
neutral,
yeah,
so you could play them, but
yeah, but I don't know. He can't start smugglers because of Crow. So
uh, now
if you're gonna
think
take
about
the
that.
smuggler set in Jedi, you should probably make it the Falcon.
I think you have some free event that lets you discount things, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Okay.
what's in it. I barely played that, so I was able to just blow up that thing with Yoda's protection on it finally, and then had everything in. So it looks like I did take it out there at the end. So good game
Yeah.
for the trooper deck. That was back and forth. I mean, pretty close at the end. He blew up 2 objectives. I ended up having to blow up 4 things to win with that
Yeah.
slow march to the end.
Such a strange deck on his part, but yeah, it was a good game regardless.
Yep.
I love troopers, and they are now more aggressive than ever, so
Yep.
that helps.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining me. Appreciate it, Ben.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
All right. Until next time.